And I'm going to let them introduce themselves. Thank you so much.
Wow. That's amazing.
All right. Oh, now we're talking. All right. Hold the mic a little further away. I didn't learn very well from the last group. Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll come back to that in a minute. All right. For those of you that I haven't had a chance to meet yet, I'm Doug Ripley. As Brian said, I'm going to do a little bit of the introductions with me, and it's really an honor to be up here today with Lonnie Kirkland, Janelle Clayton, and Todd Fitzer. Can I get a woo-woo? And we have a very special guest. All right, so let's get this started. Hello.
Hello.
All right, so you guys aren't really understanding how this works. All right. Hello.
Hello.
All right, we'll get there. We'll get there. So just a reminder real quick, for those of you that were in Manhattan last year, you saw us talk about the journey that we took on a couple of years ago to solve the world's problems. All of them. And pretty quickly we determined that maybe all of them was a little bit aggressive. And so we thought, well, we would focus a little bit on some specific things. And we challenged that group at the MOVITE meeting in Manhattan to do something different. Right? To make an impact, to have a purpose, focus on a couple of key items, and really get after it. And those three industry challenges that we were talking about at that time were recruiting talent in our industry, because we all, I think, can agree that there's a deficiency there. We're going to talk about that a little bit. Being passionate about safety, and I loved the panel. You guys did an amazing job. Super impressive to hear the collaboration that's going on, and we see and we feel the passion about safety. And then advocating for what we do. And I wish I was recording that session and everybody got to hear the things that you're doing in our community, because it's amazing, right? So we need to advocate for ourselves and some of those things that we're already doing, that you're doing, that are amazing in saving lives, and what that means. So I'm asking you, what have you done in the last year? Does anybody want to? Lonnie's got a mic here. What have you done in the last year? We challenged you. Kendra, what have you done?
Well, I've done a lot.
Yes, you have.
So, as part of GBA, I'm on the philanthropic committee, which kind of houses our STEM outreach. So I'm in charge of that, and actually a couple of weeks ago I did a presentation to GBA to kind of help spark some more outreach to other people in GBA to help me facilitate people going out doing more STEM activities. So within the last year, I did that presentation, but I used some of the stuff that I did within that last year to kind of build that presentation. So I did a gumdrop bridge, and Mallory actually helped with this as well. She's in a lot of it as well. So kudos to her to being really involved with this. We had 60 kindergartners in a gym doing gumdrop bridges and teaching them about, traffic signals, a bunch of different things, bridges, all things traffic and transportation. And then we did preschool, ages 2.5 to 6-year-olds. We taught them brought in traffic signals, did construction, they learned to cut out signals and, you know, the different colors and stuff. And then kindergarten through 5th graders, for summer care, they did stock rockets.
Hey, Kendra, this is our session.
I know, right? Well, you asked.
You're right, I did ask.
So, did applesauce pouches, used applesauce pouches, and did stomp rockets.
Oh my God.
I'm doing a middle school outreach, doing mock interviews for Shining School District. Our 5th graders, we did rubber band cars. Now I can talk way more about that because I didn't participate. November 7th is International STEM Day. So I already have my now kindergartner, their 50 kids, we're doing stomp rockets set up. And that's really all I have.
That's all you've done? Can we get a woo-hoo for Kendra?
Anybody else got a quick one? Mr. Presenter Steve?
Hey, since you gave me a chance, I'm going to put in a plug. The ACE Mentor Program, Architecture, Construction, Engineering Program. I've been involved for about 6 years. I know I've seen team members from Bolton and HDR. I got a team member from Olson on that. It's a program that's run through the high schools. It is predominantly construction here, but it is a program in architecture here. But it is a program to get more students involved in the architecture, construction, engineering program. And you talk about we need talent. Great program. Check it out. You get to spend basically a few months with high schoolers after school working on a project as a mentor. It's a lot of fun.
Fantastic. We get a woo-woo for Steve. And those are both amazing examples. And I'd love to go all the way around the room and share them all, but, you know, we can't. But as part of our conversations over the past year as a group, we realized all of the neat things that are being done for safety. We thought, okay, let's focus on the talent and the advocacy things. And so it's amazing to see those examples and hear what a lot of you are doing. And I know there's a lot of you in the room that are doing those things. And we're super excited, but we want to focus on those 2 key elements. And frankly, we're just not that good. We need your help. We need people. And so that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to challenge you to help us. And we're going to show you some things that I think are pretty cool that are going on, but we want to get your ideas and your feedback and have some of those discussions. Because we're all, as we travel around, and we've got public agencies in the room, and you're all like, oh, we don't have enough people, right? And the private sector, all the consultants, oh, we got so much work, we don't have enough people. Well, let's figure out a way to get more people. And there's some pretty cool things going on with this, but we need to boost. We need your help. We want to do some things from a technical base, from an advocacy base, and we want to talk about some things that you can do and we can do. We're going to show you some things, right? But we want to dispel some of the myths that are going on. And Lonnie, you want to tell us how the data is not always that great?
Yeah, as Doug's trying to describe, you know, we have a little bit of not a little bit, we have a big problem. We have an epidemic on recruiting youth into this industry, transportation industry, but also just in general, engineering. Which one of these clicks?
Big green button.
Big green button.
The big green obvious arrow button, dummy. So, a couple of just quick sort of Debbie Downer slides, right? Don't get caught up in all the colors. Those are just showing simple graphic regions across the U.S. But this is basically high school enrollment data. So looking out to the year 2041, this is the projected change state by state of high school graduates and what's projected. This is coming down to there's fewer people, you know, there's a lower birth rate. But look at this. Missouri, minus 12%, Nebraska, Iowa, minus 4%, Illinois, minus 32%, Kansas projected, minus 12%. 2041, change in high school graduates in this country, educated high school graduates, Wyoming, minus 23%. So there's a lot of y'all that need to start cranking out more babies as part of this. Okay? This is from our friends at Iowa College of Engineering. You know, the data, the overall graduate number trends are a little bit level and have have been decreasing, but selfishly in our industry, transportation focused, you look at the small slice in green there, civil engineering makes up a whopping 12% of all engineering. So not only do we have this decline in educated kiddos coming out of college to do what all you smart people are doing, we got a tiny slice in our little world when we talk about transportation safety and all the stuff Phibbs, neighbor we're talking about. So, Iowa, guess what they're saying is their recommendations to all the people like us and others. Encourage K through 12 engagement and volunteerism. We're going to come back to that softball. Act to create interest in engineering. Connect with counselors, teachers, demystify the field, right? The stuff we're talking about. We got to create energy in our engineering field. This is from Iowa State. Any side phones in here? Of course not. I love you people. So what's red? Nerdy engineering graphs. This is again enrollment. See what's going down. All engineering. Decrease, 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 right? Those yellow lines are simply basically the percent of folks that are then finding a job when they graduate. Immediately after graduation or within 6 months. The good news is most all these people are finding jobs, but it's because there's not a lot of them. This is more specific. This is data for the Civil Engineering College at Iowa State. Look at this last year. Dive, 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 dip, 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 less and less and less, right? This is what's going on. Again, their recommendations at Iowa State, right? K through 12 outreach, connect with college and counselors, get out and talk to high schools, generate a buzz, right? Create energy around this. If you're an alum of Iowa State, share your experience with classes, like Kendra's been talking about, right? There's no great superhero coming to save the day, people. It's all of us. Lastly, here's a little bit of data from Kansas State University Civil Engineering College. Look at this impressive one. In 2015, we had about 450 graduates, right? Enrollment up about 450. This last year, you're down about 225. So just half is all we're doing, cranking out half of the brain power. So this is what's going on just in our little Heartland region, right? So if you imagine, you blow this up across the country, and then I can tell you, here's an interesting stat, internationally. Anybody know how many graduates, engineering graduates, that we crank out in America annually? It's a couple 100,000, okay? A couple 100,000 kiddos graduate engineering school, woo, every year. It sounds like a pretty impressive number. Guess what China does annually? About 1.5 million. Think we're winning that game? So in 10 years-ish, 8 to 10 years, we're cranking out as many as they're doing in 1 year. So we're going to spend a decade creating the same genius minds that they crank out every single year, okay? So we got a little bit of a problem to solve. One of the other things we got to solve is hoping to demystify the field. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's scary. This is such a big profession. There's all kinds of other influences out there. I don't know if I want to go to engineering school, right? And so there's some other things that we need to do to help demystify the field. We're going to let Janelle talk about one of those, which is AI.
Or Big Scary Owl, as the slide showed. Okay, so I was going to ask everyone to raise their hand, but sometimes people don't participate, so I want everyone to stand up for a second, please. Everyone out of your seat. Because I feel like you're not going to raise your hand, so I'm going to make everybody stand. Okay. So true or false, who thinks that AI is going to replace our jobs in the next 10 years? If you think AI is coming for our jobs, please sit down. Awesome. I love it. Did anyone sit down? Not one person? You guys are awesome. Okay. Now you can sit, everybody can sit
Proud.
down.
I'm proud.
So we were kind of brainstorming about things, and I have a daughter who's a senior in high school, and she cannot figure out what she wants to study. And I'm not sure that I know what I want to be when I grow up. You just kind of pick something and go. But one thing I kept hearing her and her friends, talking about, what they were going to major in, they're really concerned, these kids are really concerned about AI and what career paths they want to choose, because they're scared if they want to do like computer programming, that that's going to be, not around anymore. And so we reached out to an AI expert, Dale Anderson. He's a principal AI architect for Tenneco Company. He has a background and a degree in material science. His grandpa, his dad, and his sister are all civil engineering, so he's familiar with our field. And so we reached out to him as a group to kind of get his take on AI and how that's going to kind of shape our field. And he was really positive, which made me feel really great about where we're heading. He kind of emphasized that AI is going to be a tool that we all need to use. AI is not going to take our job, but an engineer who can use AI might take your job. So we all have to embrace AI. We have to get comfortable with it. We have to learn it, learn how to best make our work more efficient, use more data to help solve our problems. He said that any job that requires accountability and responsibility is safe from AI. So that made me feel good. We have to sign and seal these plans. We are accountable and responsible for our projects and our decisions. And so that made me feel good about that. AI is not going to be our competition, it's going to be our superpower. So we really got to learn new stuff. Even when you're an old cat in the sea, you've got to keep learning. And we all need to embrace learning how we can use AI to make ourselves all better. And then explain to kids, our jobs aren't going away. Civil engineering is a great choice, or planning, or, we're not going anywhere. So there.
So I need the big green button.
Lonnie has
You guys look depressed out there. Some of you are hungover, I get that. It's all right. So when I graduated, and I heard there was a shortage in engineering, and this was in '91, I was excited. Great, that equals job security. I like that. I want to be in a field. 10 years later, juggling multiple projects and deadlines and being always, it felt like hopelessly behind. It's like, you know what? I wouldn't mind if there was more engineers to share in this wealth. So now the good news is coming. Help is on the way. People are listening. Universities are stepping in. And progress is being made. And this is so exciting to show you. So enjoy for a moment. Share with you here.
I make sure you can enjoy watching them while they stay safe and healthy. That's my job. I'm an engineer.
I protect drivers if they have a wreck. Yep, I'm an engineer.
I made that happen because I'm an engineer. My team designs busy roadways. I'm an engineer.
Who do you think figured out how to keep the sharks safe in the tank? An engineer did that.
Getting you from here to there, that's another job for an engineer.
Other times, I'm solving challenges in some pretty cool spaces.
Sometimes I'm working on a computer, bringing ideas to life.
Sometimes it's just me working through tough problems and solutions.
Sometimes it takes a team to think big and make things happen. Here's what I know. Every day, the work that I do makes our community better. If you want to make the world a better place, be an engineer.
If you want to make a difference in people's lives, you should become an engineer.
If you're creative, artistic, curious, and love discovering how things work, and if you want to solve the world's biggest challenges, then you should become an engineer.
At the unveiling of this, and it made me feel proud of our profession, and it makes me feel proud every time I see it. There's 2 more of these. So I want you to understand that it can be difficult for someone who's not an engineer to kind of penetrate our little group here. I don't know why they want to come in and do it, but sometimes that rare person comes in and not only accepts that challenge, but takes it to a whole new level. So our next guest, I want you to help me welcome. Jeannie McClure is the ACEC Nebraska Executive Director. Jeannie is a rock star, and she is behind the video that you just got to watch. So please help me welcome Jeannie.
I'm just so shy, so it's hard for me to be up here with this group. I think I've found my missing siblings in the world. No engineers were harmed in the making of that video. You might recognize them because they all are either engineering interns at different firms, or they work for different firms. So if you're from Olson or JEO, you definitely saw someone that you might know or run into the hall. ACEC Nebraska's board of directors a couple of years ago recognized workforce development as our -- priority. And so that put me on the task of saying, how are we going to solve that? We've been working on that in several different ways. The first thing we tackled was partnering with the engineering clubs of Lincoln and Omaha, and we copied what they do in Kansas called Shrimp Bingo, only we did it better. We're calling it Good Life Bingo, and we are getting together, having a great fun time. And over the past 3 years, we raised more than $90,000 for engineering scholarships in Nebraska, and those get distributed to the engineering clubs of Lincoln and Omaha. So I guess part of what I would tell you is, when we're talking about what are you going to do and what is that something you can do, it doesn't have to be a brand new idea. You can recycle someone else's with their permission, and you can amplify their messages, right? You can go out there and say, what's ACE Mentoring doing? I can be a part of that group. I don't have to make up my own idea. These videos are a result of about a year of fact-finding, going around and meeting with public schools and all kinds of local entities and the university, and talking about, what do you need? What can we do to help you? So we stepped up and said, we're missing that. How do we make engineering and the engineering industry sexy again? How do we make it appealing to students? So we put our minds together, and this video is everything I wanted it to be. It's everything I hoped and dreamed it would be. It's like talking about exciting things that engineers do. And you guys do amazing things, and I love that you had public health here today, because I used to work for a large healthcare system as their lobbyist. And doctors and nurses, they do great work and they affect a lot of people, but they tend to affect more like one person at a time. But public health and engineering and planning and the transportation sector is public health. You affect thousands and thousands of lives at a time. Woo! Yes. Woo! Yeah. So what you do is important, and what I like to do is, when I go out to college classrooms or high school classrooms, is talk about the importance of what you do and how you are affecting your community, you're building your community, and you're making the world a better place. And so those are the messages we wanted to have in here. I would say the other thing that we are doing is, we developed a mentoring program in conjunction with the University College of Civil Engineering, University of Nebraska, where we knew there was attrition going on after students enroll in the university, and they're in their freshman year and they're facing all those struggles. We already had them, they've chosen engineering, but what's happening? They had a bad calculus test, or they're having a bad experience, or maybe their advisor wasn't as passionate as someone needs to be to help them along the way. And so we're losing them. So what we did is worked with our board of directors and said, mentoring program is what we need to do. We match 3 or 4 students to one professional engineer, and they meet with them about 4 times a year, and they sit down and they talk about, it is hard to be a college freshman. It is hard. Engineering is a hard thing, but it's a noble thing. We need to stick with it. I flunked a calculus test. I can still get on with my life. I've talked to many engineers. We joke about C's get degrees, right? It's okay, right? We've got through it. You're not going to sit at your desk and do calculus all day, every day of your life. You can get through that hard class and get on to the next one and solve that problem. We were also working with a group called Lincoln Literacy in Nebraska, and working with new Americans to employ them up to their full potential. So they might have an engineering degree from Iraq or Jordan. They don't have their licensure here yet, but that doesn't mean they can't work somewhere in an engineering firm or for a public partner, a public entity, doing design or CAD or something, until we get them the credentials they need to get their PE here. So there's so many things we can do. and we're working hard along the way. So that is just that is the intro that you just saw of our workforce videos. We have, that one tags onto either one plan for high school or middle school or elementary school. And what we have on this QR code is the resources of all those videos, which we want you all to share. They are designed, our original idea was you can share them on social media, but it's also the great way to start a conversation with the classroom if you get invited to come and speak, or if you put yourself out there and meet with principals or career technical education educators or kindergarten classrooms or your child's preschool classroom. You can start that conversation by playing a video. And then we also have developed a couple of PowerPoints, one that's more for high school, middle school, and one that's more towards elementary school. And you can take that as a spine, because the hardest thing to do is you get asked to come and speak somewhere, but you then have to develop your slides and your presentation, and that takes you a long time. So we are giving you a cheat code. We've got you these videos. We have you that spine of the slide. You can take the ACC logo off of that PowerPoint and put your own firm or your own company there, and then take it out to the classroom and share however you want to talk about engineering, but you have a start. So it's the easy button so you can do something and get that message out there. I like to call myself an engineering evangelist. I'm here to help you all. I am not an engineer. I just cheerlead for you all. So thanks so much for having me today.
Jeannie's that superhero. No superhero can come along and help us.
We have one more video to show you as part of the series.
Imagine where people and nature come together. That's where engineers shine. Engineers are creators and problem solvers. Roads, buildings, bridges, stadiums, they all start with an idea and a plan. Engineers turn this plan into reality. Take your neighborhood, for example. The houses, sidewalks, streetlights, and even the stores where you shop are all part of what's called the built environment. Engineers don't just make things look good, they make them work well, last long, and stay safe. But their work doesn't stop there. Engineers are constantly thinking ahead. They design things to last for years while protecting the environment and our future. Whether it's using sustainable materials, designing energy-efficient buildings, or solving big problems we haven't even faced yet, their work helps the planet stay strong for the future. The places where we live, learn, and work all need to be safe, smart, and beautiful. Engineers make that happen. Here's the truth. Engineering becomes whatever you care about. No matter what you're passionate about, you can connect it to engineering. Love sports? Engineers design state-of-the-art stadiums. Love animals? Engineers create habitats in zoos or rescue centers. Are you into parks or sustainable living? Engineers make that happen, and you can be part of it. Across the world, engineers are tackling the biggest issues: climate change, clean water, energy, transportation, and more. And the exciting thing, they want to help you join them. And here's the best part: you don't have to figure it out alone. Organizations like ACEC can connect you to mentors, internships, and real-life experiences. If you want to use your creativity, tackle real-world challenges, and make a difference, engineering is the career that lets you do all of that and more. If you want a career with purpose, challenge, and creativity, engineering is your way forward. Engineering, the future, one idea at a time.
Aren't those great? Those are amazing videos. Amazing. And we'll bring that QR code up again here in a minute, see if you didn't get that, but it's also on your website and everything. So thanks to Jeannie and ACEC Nebraska, which it was funny, we were talking about this as a group several months ago, and I thought, well, maybe we ought to bring Jeannie in as just somebody to kind of be a ringer. And I started talking to her, I said, we're creating these videos and they're gonna be out soon. And so it worked out timing-wise perfectly of all of the things that they're doing is exactly the kind of things that we want to challenge our group to do as well. So, what are we going to do today? What's our ask? Why are we up here? Well, we need your help. And we want your help. The 4 of us, 5 of us with Jeannie, we can't solve all the world's problems alone. And we know a lot of you are doing amazing things. Steve, Kendra, I know Tyler, there's a lot of great examples. We want to hear what those are. And we want to know what your ideas are as well. And so we want to have you join us. Be part of it. Right? You're already doing it, and independently, we're pretty doggone powerful. And it's amazing. But collectively, we're so much more. So we're asking you to tell us what you want to do, and not only what you want to do, but what you're going to do over the next year. Right? So last year we gave out stickers. We had stickers made of the 4 of us, and this year we also made stickers. New edition. So for those of you that are collecting these as a group, there's 3 of these currently. This is the latest in the series, and we will give you one of these when you come out and you join us. When you join us outside today, Todd's given us a little space, and there's going to be a poster that looks like this, and it might actually be this one, out there. And then we're going to ask you to fill out a little card that says, this is what I'm going to do today, this week, this month, this year. And we're going to write those down. We're going to challenge each other. And here's some great ideas, right? Help us with the LinkedIn posts, advocating for what we do. Help us, maybe we need a website, I don't know. I'm certainly not going to develop that one on my own, right? The Drive Smart program from Mid-Omaha and the Nebraska group put together. That's an amazing program that impacted, what did we say, 75 million children? Something like that. Right? 75 million children, I think, saw that. So it's a huge impact.
That was just in Omaha.
That was just, yeah, those are just Lincoln children and Omaha children, right? Those are great things that we can do. Some of the things that we're doing in the schools with the programs are fantastic. Mentoring. And Jeannie didn't mention this, but one of the things that she mentioned a few months ago, or a couple months ago when we were talking about this, is we should have a mentor 20 years younger?
20 years younger than you.
20 years younger than yourself. And I'm thinking, as I'm a little more seasoned than some of you, like, that's a great idea because I could learn a lot from somebody 20 years younger than me. Now, maybe they'll pick up a few things from me, but I know I can pick up an awful lot from somebody that's from the younger generation. They're going to teach me things that I don't know. So that's a great relationship. I think it's a really, really good idea. So those are just a couple of examples of what we think we're capable of doing. And so again, we want to hear your ideas. What do you want to do? What do you want us to do? What can we do together? What are the kinds of things that as a group we can become way more than our individual talents? Because like I said, I look at all of you, and I know most of you, and I look forward to knowing the rest of you by the end of today. There's some amazing talent in this room. You're doing wonderful things. Super powerful. But imagine if we collectively put all that energy in a single direction. Now, I already gave you the answer to this, so I'm expecting some crowd participation here. If we put all our energy together, what does that make us? If we put all our energy together, and I really didn't feel much of the energy on that. I don't know, did you guys feel it? I didn't feel it. If we put all our energy together, and we join our talents in other groups, and we collaborate, what does that make us? Absolutely. And we are so proud of all the work that you're doing. We want to become unstoppable as a group. So join us, meet us outside, get your sticker, fill out your card, tell us what we can do, tell us what you're going to do, and together, let's become unstoppable. Thank you very much. door prizes. No, you don't get a sticker, you have to fill out the card. Oh, okay, all right. Well, since we got time, Wanda reminded me that since Janelle talked about AI, we generated our stickers with AI this year. So if you notice the big meat hands on this was a four, so I'm trying to embrace AI as we encourage all of you to do. I told them 4 different commands, and we went from a photo against a wall to this. 4 commands using AI. Now, I probably could have used the 5th hand, so maybe you're the meat hands. But
Hey, Doug, they're called prompts.
the prompts. Oh, see, that's why I need somebody 20 years younger than me to mentor me. That's the whole point. So this is a great example of how AI can make you look foolish and have some fun. Now for the prizes.
Another big round of applause for all the girls.